What do you think of this measure to stop kids wielding knives by banning them from social media? It seems very, very soft and rather pathetic to me, but what's your take on it?
Yeah, it's a joke really, because that's not going to stop someone carrying a knife. We've got deprivation. We've got people going through real hardship. You think they care about that? They don't care about that. I didn't care about that. No way was I going to stop carrying a knife because someone
told you can't go on to Instagram.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a joke, really. And the thing is, it gets you really upset, because what they really need to be doing is putting money or funding into grassroots operations with people that have been on the streets, that know the people. I actually even give the money to these people, the people that are doing this thing. I know it sounds crazy. They should be punished in some way, shape or form. But at the same time, the amount of money we're spending on them, you might as well spend the money to change their lives. Really.
I mean, it's a really interesting thought, isn't it? That, you know, if you think it costs, what, £34,000 a year to jail someone, 35,000, which is, you can send a kid to Eton for the same price. And you think, you take a young person and you say, here are the choices. We've got £35,000 worth of taxpayers' money. Right, we can spend them to prison, the University of Crime, where they can learn how to do all manner of other heinous offences against society, and we get nothing back. The chances are they'll re-offend within 2 years. Exactly. Or we can send them to a top private school and change their lives. And heaven knows, they could be plotting to take us out of the European Union with a load of old Etonians like Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Look at that. That is
it says something, doesn't it?
It's so true, though.
Yeah.
It's so true, because, and even when you save one, so my story, I've been to prison 7 times. Since a mentor put his time, money, effort into me, now look what I do. I change lives. Everyone that comes into contact with me, they don't stay the same.
All right.
You know?
Well, Sefton, I mean, I want to get on to your work with Gangs Line in just a bit, but 7 times in prison, right? Yeah, obvious from talking to you. You know, you're not stupid. You're a bright guy. How do you end up in prison? How do you end up in a gang?
It's because we feel like second-rate citizens. So it starts at home. If there's a bad environment at home, then it's going to lead you to the streets. But if your parents are in poverty, if you're in a deprivated area, if you're growing up in an environment where violence and stuff is around you, the culture, then you're gonna move towards that way. But the next thing is, there was no prospects. When I tried to make it in life, no one was allowing me to. In society, you know, if you're sorry to say, if you're a fat lady, you're not going to stand next to the CEO. He doesn't want a fat lady next to him. There's discrimination, you know. If you've got dreadlocks, you're not going to be the boss. Like, you have to cut your hair and all these different discrimination. So when you're trying to make it up the ladder, you can't.
Well, you say that, Sefton. You say that, but when I left college, I had long hair, ex of the peace convoy, did my thing there. And when I got a job as the Sun, they told me to cut it, and I cut it because you had to.
I don't think you're black, though.
I didn't realise it was entirely based on colour, because as far as I know, knife crime, the victims of knife crime are not just black. They're of all colours and creeds.
No, so the ones that started this whole thing, you would say, are black. The culture is a black culture. Everyone emulates to the black culture. The music, the clothing, everything's the black side. So what I'm trying to get at is it's spilled out onto other people because it never got dealt with.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
Does that make sense?
Just tell her that, I mean, the bit I suppose that listeners may be confused by is, how come David Cameron's threat of prison didn't work as a deterrent? Because one would have thought, you know, losing your liberty for something like carrying a knife would be a daft thing to do. Go on.
I've been shot at multiple times. I don't care. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not trying to be rude or anything.
No.
You know when you just don't care about life?
Yeah.
You've lost all hope. You're in a society that's not allowing you to prosper. So you're going to do what you got to do. And then in that, you just become reckless and it spills out. These are the effects of deprivation. That's what we're seeing. The effects of class struggles.
But not everybody from a deprived background ends up picking a knife and doing harm to others, or even picking up a knife to protect themselves from others. It's still a choice, isn't it, Sefton?
This is the culture, though, sir. So the culture is this, and only it's like some go down this road, some go down that road.
So there is a choice.
The culture's there.
But
no, you're not getting it. So when I say it's a culture, in the sense of this, like the environment that you're around, there's a thing called flight or fight. So some will walk this way and end up in this side. Some will walk this way and end up that way.
So there's no element of choice there. That's predetermined. Because that's what I'm saying, is you're saying there's a predominant culture and everyone's going to do this and everyone's going to end up like that. And yet that's just not true, is it?
But it's glorified. So you're saying these kids came into this world and these things was in this world. They didn't make these things. Guns was in this world. The 15-year-old doesn't have the mechanism to bring drugs into the country. Drugs was in this world. So all these things was in this world. If you go to Nike, they sell balaclavas around your face. Why are they selling that?
Because we've got CCTV everywhere. We're the most watched nation on earth. The police illegally keep databases on all of us. And quite frankly, I can fully understand why a young person or even an older person living in a society that watches you, that monitors you, I can fully understand why young people would want to cover their face. I feel quite tempted, and I'm 53.
Yeah, I just don't think that it's promoting the gangs. That's what it is.
Maybe.
Gangs.
What saved you, Sefton? How did you turn your life around?
So what saved me? Did you say?
Yeah.
So I got a mentor, Sheldon Thomas.
Right.
He was my mentor, and he showed me that there was a way to come into society and make it in society. He didn't just give me intelligence and wisdom, but he also spent money on me. He also gave me a job that actually I could make something of my life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What other people are offering, they're saying, look, you stop that, and that's it.
Yeah, Sefton, what we're talking about here is deterrence. Now,
okay.
But I agree with you. You said that this ban on social media is nothing more than a joke. I can see where you're coming from there. Now, you went to jail 7 times. Congratulations on finally turning your life around. But clearly, from that, we can glean that jail time is not necessarily a deterrent for knife crimes either. What in your mind is a good deterrent that might stop so many kids walking around the streets with knives?
The thing is, sorry, sir, because you said congratulations, and I just don't think it's a congratulations thing, because I don't think that I should have went to prison all these times.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Well done in the end. But
what? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's not what would be a good deterrent in your mind?
The other thing is a deterrent. I don't know if the deterrent that you're saying is like, are you saying something that's a punishment or just something that will help?
Well, any ideas you might have to how do you get young people not to pick up a knife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we as society we punish and judge people instead of disciplining and guiding them. When my child does something wrong, I discipline him and guide him into the right direction.
Yep.
I do not punish him and judge him and condemn him, because if I condemn him, then I leave him in that condemned state. So what's needed is those young men to be able to make it. Make Sefton Henry a CEO. Make me a prime minister, so that those young people can see people like themselves as MPs. They don't see people. How comes those people that are on the streets have to come to somebody else for answers, for help? Why can't they help themselves? We don't get the power. You're not empowering the right people to be able to do the job. Why do we have to come to somebody else for help?
I could argue, though, on the counter that, I've now got a kid, but Kevin hasn't. He pays his taxes in for a school system that many people don't choose to attend. Society provides free education and free healthcare, and then we turn around and say, yeah, but I'm not learning what I need. It's not useful. And then you find out half the time the kids aren't even going. Truancy was at record numbers a few years ago. In fact, midterm holidays, you've got all parents taking their kids out. We don't even care about education. It strikes me that I know it's an incredibly complicated problem, Sefton. It really is, but I don't.
Not really.
You don't. Well,
I'm so sorry. It's not. It's very simple.
Well, you said, someone make me Prime Minister, and with respect, Sefton, that's not how it works. You have to make yourself Prime Minister.
No,
you do.
Yeah, but Listen, that's cool. I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they're not being empowered to even do that. No one's being empowered to do that. People are seeing the work that I've been doing. No one's come to me and said, hey, can I help you?
That's terrible.
I've not had no help. I've been on the streets with homeless people, with mothers, single mothers. This is not just a gangs problem. This is a society problem. These are vulnerable children.
Sorry, Sefton, does Gangs Line get any public funding at all?
Public funding?
Yeah.
No,
Nothing
no.
at all.
We get paid to do a service.
From
So if we come to a school, then the school will pay us the service.
Right, I've got you. God, when you come back...
But me, on my own, I do things on my own. I don't just do things with Gangs Line.
Right.
And no one's come to me to help me, you know?
Have you gone knocking on doors? Have you knocked on Theresa May's door, Jeremy Corbyn's door?
I've been at the mayor's office.
Yeah, but you can't just stop there. You've got to go further. You know, you can't just stop at the first door. You've got to go Theresa May, Jeremy Corbyn.
I've been to the mayor's office. I've been to the international human rights. I'm on a team with international human rights at the Commonwealth, United Nations.
But with respect, Sefton, with respect, right? The mayor of London is not running the country. Theresa May is running the country. You said, I want someone to make me Prime Minister. At least have the decency, Sefton, to talk to her, first of all, before coming on and complaining about the things that people aren't doing for you. Ask her for help.
I've spoken to everyone.
But not Theresa May.
You know what I mean? I've spoken to everyone, but
not Theresa May. Not Theresa May.
If we want to stop this problem, sir, if we want to
please stop calling me sir. It's Matthew, but yeah.
If we really do want to stop this, we need to empower the right people to do the job.
I hear you, and if you really want to get it done, you're going to have to go further than Sadiq Khan, a Labour mayor in London. You need to go to the very top, and I would suggest dropping a email to Theresa May. She'll probably be relieved it's not about Brexit or someone from the ERG stabbing her in the back, pun intended, and go to her and tell her what you said to us at the beginning, you know, £35,000 to send a young person to prison, £35,000 to send a young person to Eton. You imagine the different outcome. I think, why not, Sefton? We are.
Worth a try, mate. Worth a try.
Take your fight to the top, and you'll have us behind you all the way. All right? Sefton Henry, lovely talking to you. Lovely talking to you.